back-to-back appearances by New York's NFL teams at the Meadowlands on this final weekend of the regular season. But unlike the Giants yesterday, the Jets hope to end their dismal season with a win today against the Miami Dolphins. And happy holidays, everybody. Dan Hicks along with Bob Trumpy. But tis the season for NFL coaching changes around the league. And maybe the least surprising was when Rich Kotite decided to step down just on Friday as head coach of the New York Jets after two dismal seasons, 3-13 last year, 1-14 headed into today.
Yeah, and Dan, I'll tell you, I think Rich Kotite did the administration and the players a great favor. He put it all on his shoulders. But I think you see here kind of shaking hands and hugging Dan Marino and also Fred Barnett, a player of his at Philadelphia. Richie's greatest failing, he's a good guy. He was never tough enough on these players, and frankly, they took advantage of it.
Well, the Jets obviously out of the playoffs, but maybe a bit of a surprise for the Dolphins being out of the playoffs in Jimmy Johnson's first year there, but he doesn't seem to be too disturbed by it at all.
It doesn't bother him. What happened last year does not concern Jimmy Johnson. This is a work in progress, and he likes the progress. They're about to have a 1,000-yard rusher this year, and he kept telling us last night when we talked to him, you know, I got a Hall of Fame quarterback in Dan Marino, but I can't expect him to be a Hall of Fame quarterback every day. Therefore, we got to find other ways to win, and they have.
Well, they have a good chance of winning today when you consider the great games that the future Hall of Famer has had in the past against the New York Jets. He'll try to have another one today. Back with a kickoff right after this. Rich Kotite came out onto the field for the very last time as head coach for the New York Jets, and to give us a feel for what that was like with the restless fans, let's hear from Len Berman. Len?
Well, Dan, I'd say a mixed reaction, but it is far from a full house as the Jets continue to set no-show records. I'm pretty concerned with how the Jets will react as players, and Keyshawn Johnson told me perhaps the players will improvise on the field, try things they're not supposed to. After all, how can they get in trouble from the coaching staff? Guys, back to you.
All right, Len, very well put.
School's out. Is that what Lenny might be predicting? A substitute teacher? I mean, what is this?
4-27 record Kotite brings into his finale against the Dolphins, and it is Nedney who puts the foot into it, and back deep for the Jets is Reggie Cobb, who can't field it at the 5, and it rolls into the end zone, and the Jets will bring it out to the 20 to begin at 1st and 10. Glenn Foley, the quarterback for the Jets, his third start in the NFL, 6 interceptions in his previous 2 starts. Up front for him, Jumbo Elliott. Harry Boatswain starts for Harry Galbraith, who is injured at left guard, and Siapeli Malamala starts for David Williams, the right tackle. He's out with a hip flexor. Adrian Morrell already over 1,000 yards. Richie Anderson, the fullback. Keyshawn Johnson, the #1 pick, the rookie, but Wayne Kravett, 80 catches this year, 3rd most in Jets history, and he's set for a milestone here today as Morrell gets the 1st and 10 call and bangs ahead for a couple of yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 8 as we set the Miami defense. A lot of rookies on this defense. 5 start for Jimmy Johnson. Burton and Gardner up front alongside Bowens and Stubbs. Maybe the best rookie has been Zach Thomas, perhaps the best in the NFL in the defensive position at middle linebacker. Harris, another rookie, and Sean Wooden starts at strong safety. So a very young team for Jimmy Johnson as the Jets with a 2nd and 8 from the 22. And Foley to the air for the first time. He wanted Keyshawn Johnson, and that is incomplete. 3rd down and 8.
You mentioned that young Miami Dolphin team. Jimmy Johnson made a point to us last night that the 22 starters are the youngest in the NFL, even with Dan Marino. And Zach Thomas, you said one of the best rookies in the league, he's also one of the busiest. He's missed a grand total of 2 snaps all season long, and that was to change a chin strap that was broken.
That's enabled him to record the 4th most tackles in the entire NFL in his rookie season out of Texas Tech. On 3rd and 8, Foley to the air, and he's got who else but Wayne Kravett fighting his way for 1st down yardage, and finally knocked out of bounds close to the 35-yard line. Gain of 13 for Kravett, but maybe even more remarkable is that Kravett now has more receptions than any other receiver in NFL history in his first 2 years.
Yeah,
he just passed Gary Clark.
That's all of them. I mean, not just the recent history, that's all of them. This kid's nickname is Nails, as in tough as. And he walked in yesterday to our meeting with the Dennis Byrd Trophy, the most inspirational player. This guy said he's ready to play 16 more. I'm not sure about that, but that's what he said.
Jets with a 1st and 10. Morrell trying to turn the corner on the right side, but some good pursuit by the Miami defense brings him out of bounds. Zach Thomas led the charge. Well, there is Krebet. 147 catches now in his first 2 seasons, and the list that you see there, Rice, Monk, Lofton, and Largent, they're the NFL's all-time best.
Yeah, all-time best.
In what they did in their first 2 seasons.
Yeah, this is Rice leads with receptions, and in the first 2 years he had 135 and 147. And then 2 years ago, this guy was standing outside the ropes at Hofstra watching the Jets practice. Now he is still a Jet, not so happy about the record.
In the flat, Foley wanted to get it out to Morrell. That was batted down as Foley felt the pressure. Shane Burton, a rookie out of Tennessee, putting the pressure on Foley.
Danny, there are so few people here today. I'm not sure sometime today we're going to hear a chin strap snap. I mean, it's that quiet. Foley in a tough spot here. You know,
well,
end of a 2-year run for this team that's been absolutely awful, and he's out there to try to prove something to somebody. I don't know if he can accomplish anything.
You heard Lynn Berman mention the no-shows today. Will bring that total to 200,000 as Foley is way off the mark. Intended for Webster Slaughter. Tim Jacobs on the coverage. So Rich Kotite's first series and his final game as the Jets coach, they'll have to punt.
Yeah, well, good thing about it though, they didn't turn it over. I mean, Jets average 3 turnovers a game. For them to go a series without turning over, that's a plus. That's something to build on.
44 turnovers on the season so far for the Jets. Brian Hansen has been one of the highlights for the Jets this season. He hangs a nice punt. Terrell Buckley receives it at the 12 and spins around and brought down quickly at about the 17-yard line. So Miami Dolphins begin their first offensive series at the 18-yard line. A good game for Dan Marino and the Dolphins on Monday night. They snapped a 3-game losing streak when they beat the Buffalo Bills 16-14, and Marino was 26 of 37 for 263 yards, and he bounced back from really 2 subpar performances.
When he wants to go, he can go.
And he's gone against the Jets.
Yes, he has.
We'll show you what he's done against the Jets in his storied career in just a moment, as the first handoff goes to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who is looking for some history today. Not much there at all by the Jets, as they stack the rookie out of UCLA up. Well, let's tell you about the Miami offense up front, led by Richmond Webb, Pro Bowl this year for the 7th straight year. Sims, Ruddy, McIver, and Brown around Webb. And then Kareem Abdul-Jabbar needs 36 yards today to become the first Miami running back to rush for 1,000 yards in 18 seasons. He's set to do it today with 36 yards. Marino's first punt's on the mark near side. O.J. McDuffie. And McDuffie gets loose from some Jet defenders and gets it all the way up to the 40-yard line before he's finally corralled by Bobby Houston. Gain of 19 for McDuffie.
One of the things that has always been a problem here in Giant Stadium is the wind. And Phil Simms told Dan Marino one time, the way you beat the wind in this stadium is make sure you throw a good tight spiral. If you can keep the spiral, you can throw in this stadium. And Marino's never had trouble throwing in this stadium.
70th catch on the year for McDuffie, and Miami with the first 10 at the 39. That pass intended for Troy Drayton, the tight end, incomplete. 2nd down and 10 as we set the Jet defense for you. Up front, led by Hugh Douglas, who had a huge game in the loss against the Eagles last Saturday. 3 sacks and a fumble recovery for him. Washington and Brock and the rookie Hamilton join him up front. The linebackers Cascadden, Marvin Jones, and Bobby Houston. And one change in the defensive secondary for New York. Eric Zolmalt, the former Eagle, replaces Gary Jones at the safety position. Jones inactive today with a concussion. 2nd down and 10 for the Dolphins, their opening offensive series of this game. And swinging it out in the flats, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with a reception. And a nice move by Abdul-Jabbar to get up to the 45-yard line. We'll step aside, take our first scoring update across the river with Greg.
All right, Dan, and we'll take you to Cincinnati, where the Colts are looking for a win to secure a playoff game at home. But Jeff Blake and the Bengals get on the board first. 10-yard touchdown pass to David Dunn. 7-0 Bengals, first quarter. Back across the river to Dan.
All right, Greg, thank you very much. Opening moments here in the Meadowlands. Dolphins and Jets scoreless. Jets having a punt on their first possession, and Miami on the move here, but with a 3rd down and 4. And O.J. McDuffie couldn't hang on to it. Well covered by Marcus Coleman, the rookie out of Texas Tech, but the Dolphins will have to punt on their first series.
Excellent coverage here by the Jets. This is zone all the way. And you can see that Coleman does a great job breaking right at the proper moment. He's looking back into the backfield at Dan Marino. And he goes directly to the ball. So a nice break up there in a 3rd down conversion attempt.
So we see Wayne Grabett at his 10. John Kidd leads the NFL with 46.5 yards per punt. This one not a very high one, and Grabett comes up with a 15, shakes one Dolphin off.
Fumble.
And he fumbles the ball, and Miami's got it at the Jet 22.
That's 45 turnovers for the Jets this season. How amazing is that? That's now the 15th fumble that the Jets have lost, including 6 snaps from center that they've lost. The extra effort by Grabett. I can't really see who strips the ball away, but good heads-up play by Miami Dolphins covering that punt, and they get great field position.
And recovered by Lewis Oliver. And Grabett trying to warm the hands on the sideline, so Miami with an excellent opportunity with 11 minutes left in the first quarter to get on the board first. To the air, and he spins around. Number 36, Stanley Pritchett, incomplete, but a flag has come in. Zomal on the coverage, and we'll get our first word from Jerry Markbright, indicating the penalty against Miami.
Offensive pass interference. Fullback out of the backfield running that little swing route.
Pass interference, number 80, offense, 10-yard penalty. First down.
On Fred Barnett.
Yeah, they're trying to set up a pick. I'm not sure you're going to be able to pick it up, but Fred Barnett is right there. And he's picking the linebacker, and the net result was the incomplete pass, and the officials catch it. They don't like that. And the officials don't like those picks, and it's a very common nowadays in the NFL. It's a big part of a lot of offenses.
Well, Miami has had a tough time scoring touchdowns. Just 1 touchdown scored in each of its last 5 games, and backing up as they try to take advantage of the turnover by Grabett. And draw, and Miami fumbles the football. And number 99, Hugh Douglas, is up and running. And he's going to go all the way. 62 yards.
I didn't think he was ever going to get to the end zone.
Well, he wasn't exactly being chased by any of the Miami players. Once he picked it up, he was gone. So a huge week last week by Douglas. And he gets the Jets on the board in dramatic fashion with a 62-yard fumble return for the touchdown. Lowry on to tack on the extra point. Seven nothing as the Jets look for just their 2nd win of the season. They're up 7-0. As Don Silvestri gets set to kick off, and that is the first touchdown ever in Douglas's career. Silvestri's kick taken by Kirby Dardar just inside the goal line, and Dardar out to the 25, where Miami will get another chance. Brought down by Kyle Clifton. Another look at the strip here.
Yeah, this is Matt Brock. He jumps inside Keith Sims, just gets his arm up, and it's a pretty easy play for Brock to execute. Bam, right there on Pritchett. And Hugh Douglas being blocked by Richmond Webb, but then this foot race, I'm not sure you can call this a foot race, but this this rumble to the end zone by Hugh Douglas. And a little bit of life out of the crowd here at Giant Stadium. Not much.
Showing no signs of an ankle, which he says is still sore, which caused him to miss 6 games earlier this year. But here's Miami at the 25, 1st and 10. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar up to the 30-yard line for a gain of 5. Well, a stat that Jimmy Johnson pointed out to us last night, Trump, he was very impressive, was the turnover ratio for the Dolphins. For the first time since '84, they will be on the plus side at the end of the season.
Yeah, that's the one thing we ask him, what are you most proud of? And this season, plus 11, it stays the same because each team has turned it over once today. But when you can protect the ball, keep the ball, win that give-take ratio, you're going to win a lot of games.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar trying to bounce off the pile, which stacks up in front of him, but he is stacked up by the Jet defense led by Marvin Jones. Another scoring update. Here's Greg.
All right, Dan, at Carolina, the Panthers want to win for the NFC West title and a first-round playoff bye. They get on the board. Kerry Collins 9 yards to Wesley Walls, and the Panthers with a 7-0 lead on the Pittsburgh Steelers in the first quarter, Dan.
All right, Greg, thank you very much. What a season by Carolina. A win today wraps up the NFC West division title.
Yeah, both expansion teams. Jacksonville doing very well, too.
3rd and 5. Marino working out of the shotgun, and that pass deflected in front of O.J. McDuffie by Aaron Glenn. And it was Glenn who returned a Dan Marino pass, a Jet record 100 yards in the first game earlier this year.
This kid is one of the best man-on-man coverage corners in the league. Not big at all. I think under 5'10", but he has great quickness, and he has that rare trait you need in a defensive back, extreme confidence.
So Miami to punt for the 2nd time. John Kidd to Wayne Crabett at the 22, fumbles the football, it's loose, and the Jets recover. But Wayne Crabett having a tough time fielding punts.
He's 2 for 2. He gets this one back, though. Loses the first one, recovers this one.
Jets are up 7-0, but Crabett has made things interesting early. They're fumbling another punt.
And he has great hands. I mean, you see him diving all over the place, making spectacular catches. That's just a lack of concentration.
So the Jets begin this series from their own 16. Play action, Foley to the air. And he wanted Crabett incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Only 4 teams, Trump, in league history have gone 1-15 in a loss today by the New York Jets, and they'll join that dubious list.
Yes.
Kotite looks on. Another loss for Kotite ties Lehman Bennett's record for the worst record any coach with more than 30 games with the same team has had. So the numbers just on and on, no matter how you look at them.
But you have to keep bringing it up. You have to get...
Well, Morrell gets the call. He's got a 1st down. Terrell Buckley runs him out of bounds, but well, you want more numbers, Trump. I'm sorry, there they are.
Yeah,
but these are good on the good side of Adrian Morrell.
This is a weird one. 1 win, 1,000-yard rusher. Gale Sayers, when he was with the Bears in '69, Dick Butkus was also on that team. Dick Bass with the Rams. Morrell 1,180 yards. Absolutely amazing that you can have a 1,000-yard rusher and only win 1 game. But it's the turnovers that's absolutely killed the New York Jets.
Morrell, in reference to that graphic, said, I don't know if that's an honor or not, as he gets the call close to the 30. Another scoring update. Let's go to New York.
All right, Dan, it's Cincinnati. The Colts pull even with the defensive unit this time operating. Jason Belzer picks off Jeff Blake and returns 21 yards for the touchdown with the extra point. It's now a 7-7 game. Colts and Bengals still the first quarter, Dan.
All right, Greg, still the first quarter here. Midway through it, Jets with a 7-0 lead. Glenn Foley off to a slow start through the air, 1 of 5 for 13 yards. Catch on the far sideline made by Webster Slaughter. Slaughter's got the 1st down. Sean Hill on the coverage for Miami. Gain of 22 for Slaughter.
That was a nice throw by Foley. You're going to see, here's Slaughter running the out pattern at the corner, and Hill is slow getting over there, and Slaughter has trouble hanging on to it, but stays with it and does make the catch. So not a great catch, but a nice pickup by Webster Slaughter.
11-year veteran. Former Brown says he doesn't want to come back to the Jets unless he's given an opportunity to start.
He's dreaming.
He's dreaming well. For some more pretty good yards. Well, the 1,180 rushing yards that McNeil had coming in, the second most in Jets history. Freeman McNeil back in '85.
Dan, I was going to say, the thing I like about Adrian Morrell, last year, Morrell had 71 catches. And this year, he's got over 250 carries. So there's a lot that this young man can do, and just beginning to figure out how best to use him.
Foley's got another completion, that time to 88 Kyle Brady, and you were wondering
where's he been
before we kicked off, where has Brady been this year? That is Brady's just his 14th catch of the season.
I don't get it with this kid. When this kid came out of Penn State, he was absolutely a lead pipe cinch to be an impact tight end, no question about it. But he's had a shoulder separation, he's had other problems, and basically they've turned him into an offensive tackle. I don't understand why. In this offense, the tight end should catch the ball a great deal. Anytime I think you have a great running back, like the Jets do with Adrian Morrell, your tight end, one, should block well, first down Jets, but two, he should be a great pass receiver because of play action passing. This guy's been non-existent. I don't get it.
Brady 26 catches last year, just his 14th this year. As you take a look at Kotite, whose team is on the 7th play of this drive, with the 1st and 10 at the Miami 36. 6.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Jets with a 7-0 lead. Morrell gets to carry plenty of room along the left side and stiff arms his way out of bounds close to the 30-yard line, brought down by another one of those rookies on Miami's defense, Anthony Harris.
And so far the Dolphins have a little late showing up today. Not much emotion. Emotion plays no part in this game for the New York Jets. Head coach, coaching staff probably gone, but a great deal of emotion for Miami Dolphins players. There's always the threat of Jimmy Johnson making you his next victim. You don't play for me today, son. You play for somebody else next year.
On 2nd and 5, Morrell gets the carry again. Well, the next stop for the Miami Dolphins will be a relatively early camp, in March?
March 3rd.
And if you don't show up there, you're not exactly in Jimmy's...
It's not mandatory, but it is highly recommended that you be there. Highly recommended that you be there. And when I talked to him before the game this morning, I said, when did you start that? He said, well, when I left the Hurricanes, went to Dallas, second year, we started because everybody else was doing it.
3rd down and 3. Fully complete, and for the first down, it is Alex Van Dyke. Just the 16th catch of the season for Van Dyke.
Well, you got 5 wide receivers in the lineup here for the New York Jets, spreading the defense all over the place. Zone coverage by the Miami Dolphins. Hey, simple pattern. You go down one step past the yard marker, and you make the completion for the first down.
Van Dyke, rookie out of Nevada, 2nd-round pick. And the drive continues for a possible touchdown for New York. Foley pressured and brought down for the sack. That's number 93, Trace Armstrong, his 11th sack of the season.
Dolphins come with a blitz. When motion goes away, Terrell Buckley, number 27, also putting pressure from the outside, but you're going to see Trace Armstrong jump right inside of Kyle Brady, 88. No one blocks him. Foley had no chance to set up whatsoever. And Trace Armstrong with one of those gift sacks, you know.
He's been piling them up lately. That is 5.5 sacks in the last 3 games.
If you don't block him, he will make a sack.
That backs the Jets up. 2nd down and 19. Play action. Foley turns around, and wide open was Slaughter, but the ball hung up. A flag comes in, And it could be interference on Sean Wooden on the coverage for Miami.
He was 10 yards past the deepest defender. I mean, Dolphins were completely fooled.
Pass interference, number 22, defense, in the end zone. Automatic first down on the 1-yard line.
And that amounts to a 32-yard penalty on Wooden.
Look, he's a good 8 yards deeper than Wooden. Wooden has no choice, can't get his head around. Just make contact, hope something good happens. But the penalty on Miami, 1st and goal Jets. Isn't this the way the Giant game went yesterday?
Yes.
This kind of a repeat of that?
Looked like the Patriots were going to get blown out yesterday here in Giant Stadium, but they came back to win. Adrian Morrell looking for the goal line, and Morrell is in for the score.
This is the sweep. The guard pulls out front. Good lead block by Richie Anderson, number 20. They just maintain contact. Morrell, whoa, wait a minute. Did not have control of the football as it crossed the goal line, but the head linesman says touchdown.
And Morrell says, thank you very much, with a hug.
Now, wait a minute. Now, that ball went over the goal line. Nobody had control of it, then goes out of bounds. That should be a touchback. And the Miami Dolphins should have the football. There's no way in the world that this is a touchdown.
Here it is. Questionable call. Did Morrell get in with control? No way.
AT&T.
To win it 36-27. Jets have had a horrible time of trying to hang on to first half leads. Irving Spikes takes the Silvestri kickoff. Backs his pick up across the 30-yard line, and a good return for Spikes close to the 35-yard line.
If we go back to the touchdown, this ball is not in control by Adrian Morrell as it hits the goal line. It's Dwight Hyu who strips the ball away. The ball is out there. It goes across inside the cone. That should be a touchback. Miami ball. And the head linesman, Terry Gerke, instantly makes a touchdown call. He is incorrect. Instant replay should be used in this game.
And he was no more than a few yards away from that call, so he had a good look at it as Irving Spikes gets his first carry of the game. For no gain, it'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Marvin Washington the stop for the Jets.
Always dangerous to play a team where there is nothing at stake. You don't know what to expect. This team is a talented football team, the New York Jets. For them to be 1-14 is pretty remarkable. But they do have another gear.
Second down, Marino's pass complete to the tight end Troy Drayton. Drayton, the big acquisition picked up from the Rams in October mid-season, and Jimmy Johnson told us last night that Drayton is the last guy that he got that needed to be signed, and they're close to signing Drayton to complete the puzzle headed into next year.
Yeah, he feels that within the week he'll have him signed, and then he's happy. He's got all they wanted out of this year.
14 tight ends have spent time with Miami before Drayton finally came in, and Jimmy Johnson likes him. 3rd down, Marino's pass. Nice catch made by Randall Hill. And Hill's got the first down for the Dolphins.
Yeah, it's interesting that when we talked to Dan Marino last night, I said to him, you know, you're throwing the ball less. Is there less pressure on you? Are you more comfortable? He said, actually, no, there's more pressure. I get fewer chances to throw the ball, so I have to be more accurate. And that's saying something for the guy who leads in almost every passing category you can think of in the NFL.
First and 10 at the 46, and it's Irving Spikes up the middle for a gain of 3. We talked about the huge days enjoyed by the future Hall of Famer Marino. Look at the 300-yard games, 4 400-yard games, yet Trumpy has failed to pass for over 300 yards this season.
Yeah, and actually, I don't think he minds, and Jimmy Johnson doesn't care.
Nope.
I mean, absolutely does not care. He has used Dan Marino, in his estimation, perfectly. Yeah, he's made mistakes, but there are new receivers all around Dan Marino, so he expected some mistakes.
2nd and 7. Marino buys that little bit of time he needs, and it's incomplete. He wanted Drayton. Eric Zomalt, who is playing for the injured Gary Jones today, on the coverage.
Actually, this is a nice job by Dan Marino. You're going to see him always had that ability to sense pressure and just move slightly. Marvin Washington, 97, gets inside Keith Sims, and Marino has always had that unbelievable, almost invisible release. It's up, it's gone, it's halfway there. Drayton just couldn't make the catch.
3rd and 7. The third down back, Bernie Parmalee, next to Marino, who works out of the shotgun. Plenty of time for Marino, and Parmalee finally hauls it in, but he'll be short of the first down. Ray Mickens ran him out of bounds, but the Dolphins will have to punt it away again.
I'm kind of surprised at this. It's 4th down and 2 or something. Jimmy's not above trying anything to ignite his football team. He immediately sent John Kidd out there.
Dolphins trailing 14-0. And Kidd set to punt it away again. Wayne Krebet, who has had his difficulties so far, lets this sail over his head, and it takes a good bounce, and Miami will down it deep in Jet territory at the 5. 44-yard punt by John Kidd. Well, experience the NFL all week long on NFL.com, the official website of the National Football League, for all of the tackles, all of the touchdowns, and a live game day scoreboard. You can click on NFL.com.
There's actually a lot of information at NFL.com. You know that?
And I know you cruise it all.
I do.
Trump.
I do. You can get information almost instantaneously. Some of it you don't want, but you can get it.
Well, just under a minute left in the first quarter. Kotite and his finale with the Jets, as you take a look at some other key scores around the NFL. Indianapolis fighting for a playoff spot, locked at 7, playing in Cincinnati today. Jacksonville also a chance to get into the playoffs as Morrell gets the first down call. A gain of 2 yards, brought down by Steve Entman.
I see these Jet players. I talked to them yesterday out at Hofstra, some of them. They realize that they've taken advantage of the head coach and coaching staff here. I mean, there is fragile leadership on this football team. Nobody really jumps out and says, we don't do that. And so a lot of people have gotten away with a lot of things, and Richie Kotite and his coaching staff are the ones who pay the price.
Morrell with a carry, and I really think that's capsulized in the #1 pick, Keyshawn Johnson's comments really right when he arrived here to the Jets franchise. He sensed, and he told us, reiterated it yesterday, that he sensed a negativity.
Yep.
A troubled times here with the Jets.
Depressing, he said. Yeah. Brought up depressing. Said, you know, I want to come in here and have fun, beat Keyshawn, but nobody wants to have fun here. But of course, when you're 1-14, there's not much fun involved.
But Kotite, with a chance to get a victory here, finds his team up 14-0 at the end of 1 in the Meadowlands. Incomplete, intended for Alex Van Dyke.
If you're going to throw that pass, that's got to be a bullet. You put a little too much arch in it. And of course, Glenn Foley last year had shoulder surgery on his throwing arm. He dislocated his shoulder. I've never heard of a quarterback coming back from surgery on a dislocated shoulder to throw the ball at all. So you got to admire this kid and the work he did to get to this point.
It was the only game he played all year long last year for the Jets. So backed up deep is Brian Hansen. Dolphins nearly get to it. But calling for the fair catch at midfield is O.J. McDuffie after the 43.
By the adjustable Maverick beard and mustache trimmers from Norelco. By the Citizen Watch Company. Citizen is how the world tells time. And by IBM. Season's greetings to a small planet from everyone at IBM.
Crisp December day in Manhattan. You can bet a flurry of shopping being done just a few days before Christmas. And Miami with the best field position of the game so far, beginning at the 49, and Marino wants to throw it on first down. And a pass complete to Troy Drayton. Well, the Jets in a familiar spot. Len Berman up 14-0, but can they hang on?
Well, Dan, you mentioned they blew a 14-0 lead to the Dolphins in Miami in week 3. In fact, here at the Meadowlands, the Jets had a 21-0 lead on the Patriots and lost that one. They are the master of the blown lead. However, the Jet bench is up and involved this week. That's rare for them, so maybe this is the time they'll actually hang on to a lead. Guys?
It's a little late.
The Jets, Len, have led 5 games in the second half, only to go on to lose. Penalty flag on the play as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar picks up an apparent first down, but we'll hear from Jerry Markwright as Marvin Jones made the stop on Abdul-Jabbar. And it goes against the Jets.
Offside, number 42, defense. Penalties declined. First down.
Against Marcus Coleman.
You know, the thing I like about Abdul-Jabbar is seldom have I seen a running back quicker to the line of scrimmage from his stance. This kid is an absolute rocket.
Well, there it is, just 19 away from the coveted 1,000-yard season. And less than that now.
The last time these two teams met, he had a big day. 23 quick carries, 124 yards, 2 touchdowns. And started the season with a couple of very sore ankles, and Jimmy Johnson didn't like that, and Abdul-Jabbar didn't like his character tested, questioned, and his big counselor is his dad, disciplinarian counselor. And he got his dauber up a little bit, and he's been a great addition to the Miami Dolphins.
2nd down and 7. Quick drop by Marino, and in and out of the arms of Fred Barnett. That'll bring up 3rd down. Marcus Coleman on the coverage.
Yeah, good coverage too. Very tight coverage. Barnett, a big physical receiver. Here he is out here. You see Coleman take the inside stance. Just puts his hands over the shoulders of Fred Barnett and knocks the ball away. That's nice. You see little flashes of great play out of this New York Jet team, don't you? And you wonder why they can't do it consistently.
Coleman, 5th-round pick out of Texas Tech. Miami, the numbers for them on 3rd down conversions today. And they need 6 here. Marino down the sidelines and not able to haul it in is number 89, Randall Hill. And again, Marcus Coleman on the coverage.
But an interesting call. I mean, if you're going to try that on 3rd down, you're going to go for it on 4th down. There's Gary Stevens, the offensive coordinator upstairs. I mean, as accurate a thrower as Dan Marino is, well, they are going for it on 4th down.
4th and 7 from the 33-yard line. It would be about a 50-yard field goal for Nedney, but he's been very erratic this year. But a timeout called by the Jets. Jets do take their first timeout with 13:15 left in the opening half.
The Pistons take on Michael Jordan and the Bulls. Just part of our special NBA doubleheader. Christmas Day on NBC.
Well, trailing the Jets 14-0. Jimmy Johnson has elected to go for it on 4th down and 7. Marino out of the shotgun. Bernie finally had it, and they call it incomplete. Hugh Douglas thinks he might have another touchdown, but that'll be called back. So the Jets will take over on downs.
Number 21 for the New York Jets, Victor Green, does a great job. Here's Parmalee, just a little circle route, and there's Green right there. He's going to match up hook up on him. Marino waiting. There is pressure. Ball thrown slightly behind. Formerly, you'd think he'd make that catch, but there's Hugh Douglas again. We're going to wear this guy out. Running the other way with the ball.
62-yard fumble recovery for a touchdown in the first quarter for Douglas.
That's a gutsy call by Jimmy Johnson, and he does make those decisions. 4th and 7, trying to get an ember burning underneath his football team here.
So the Jets take over from their own 33-yard line. Opening moments of the second quarter. They work with a 14-0 lead, and Howell just across the 35-yard line. Brought down by Darrell Gardner, another one of those rookies for Miami. He's a rookie out of Baylor. Anthony Harris, rookie out of Auburn, also involved. 5 defensive starters for Jimmy Johnson, as this team continues to keep an eye on the future and build through the draft as well.
Yeah, he likes young guys. Main reason, they don't have opinions. Just do what I tell you, pal.
Glenn Foley on 2nd and 7, and stepping in front with a near interception was number 31 Sean Hill. Keyshawn Johnson was the intended receiver.
It was Wooden in coverage, number 22. And you see the free safety doing his job, just standing back there watching the quarterback's eyes. Breaks properly. I don't know how he didn't catch this one. I mean, that's about as good as you're going to get it thrown to you.
Well, Foley off to a rough start, 4 of 10, just 47 yards. We mentioned 6 interceptions he's thrown in his 2 starts. And 3 of the 4 interceptions he threw last week were in the second half, when the Jets fell apart and the Eagles came back to win it as the play clock expires.
I will say this for the Jets. They have found
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
So it'll be 3rd and 13 as you take a look at Ron Earhart, the offensive coordinator. And a lot of these coaches like Earhart, they don't know what the future holds with Kotite leaving and who comes in.
And he's a winner. I was going to say the Jets have found some very unique ways to lose games. I mean, you got to work hard to lose the way they've lost this year.
So we're backed up to the 30. And Foley's pass floated out to the far sideline to Keyshawn Johnson. He wanted interference on Buckley. He'll not get it. And the Jets will punt it away.
Buckley almost literally climbed Keyshawn, you know, like he was climbing up a tree. Keyshawn Johnson, one of the real big receivers in the league. That's excellent coverage by Buckley. Jets sideline complaining interference. No call. 4th down.
Brian Hansen to O.J. McDuffie, awaiting at his 21. And McDuffie with a chance at the 22. Breaks a couple of tackles and gets to the 30-yard line. The Dolphins trail at 14-0 with 12:01 left in the half.
Their offense has been a no-show in this game. That fumble return for a touchdown for the Dolphins. They're down 14-0.
With a 1st and 10 from the 30. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar again. And that may have given him the 1,000-yard mark. He needed 16 yards to get there. Marcus Coleman ran him out of bounds. And it's going to be very close. It is 17 yards for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So there you have it, the milestone. The drought is finally broken. After 18 seasons, the Dolphins have a 1,000-yard rusher.
Yeah, when Delvin Williams had that 1,000-yard season, the Dolphins were 11-5. Bob Greasy was the quarterback. That's how long ago that was.
Good run for Abdul-Jabbar. He backs it up with another one. Close to the Jet 45, a flag comes in as Aaron Glenn puts the wraps on Abdul-Jabbar. But not since 1978, when Delvin Williams rushed for 1,248 yards. Have the Dolphins had a 1,000-yard rusher. There is Williams. In fact, Jimmy Carter was in the White House the last time this happened. The total was the most rushing yards in a season in Dolphins history. and there have been 178 1,000-yard rushing seasons since for running backs in the National Football League since Delvin Williams back in '78, but none by Miami players.
Yeah, that's nice. You saw Larry Little, number 66, out there pulling a Hall of Fame guard. That could make a 1,000-yard rushing season a little easier. And there was a penalty on the Dolphins on that play. It was holding. Well, that last good run by Abdul-Jabbar wiped out. He's still over 1,000 for the season, though.
But the Dolphins faced with a 1st and 20 from the 37. Play clock gets down to 2, and Miami calls a timeout.
Yeah,
must be confusion in the playbook.
Yeah, here's the problem with the playbook that has been much ballyhooed down in South Florida. Someone said they're throwing away the playbook. No, Jimmy Johnson said we're just paring it down. And last night I asked Dan Marino, all right, what's wrong with it? He said, well, it's wordy. And we had the same guys there for 10, 12 years, and we made stuff up, and then we called it something. I said, give me an example of a play. How about this? Yellow I right zoom, pass 6 Texas switch, X curl, halfback wide.
Now that sounds like some sort of flea flicker, but in fact that's a running play?
No, that's a pass play.
Oh, it is a pass play?
Play action pass, and it's a very simple play. But Jimmy Johnson said, look, we can't do this anymore. I mean, we got to streamline this so that 1, new players can come in and contribute immediately, and 2, draft choices can come in and contribute immediately. Then we're not throwing the book out. We're just making it more manageable.
And there's been a little needling between Don Shula and the press. And
that's
Jimmy
going to
Johnson.
continue.
He said, hey, this is no offense to Don Shula, but he says, I have to feel comfortable with my playbook and make the necessary changes that I feel comfortable with. That's a nice pass play. O.J. McDuffie for a big gain. Finally twisted out of bounds at the Jet 33. Call up the 34 after a gain of 28 by McDuffie.
Nice little delay run by McDuffie over the middle. Jets are going to see McDuffie come right across here. Marino has good protection, waits for McDuffie to open up. Drayton 84 kind of cleared things out, and then McDuffie with excellent speed. This kid has constantly made the big play for the Miami Dolphins.
Dan Marino was asked in an informal survey of who was the MVP of the team this year, and he said O.J. McDuffie. Abdul-Jabbar, another good run. Another flag comes in as Abdul-Jabbar adds to his 1,000 yards already achieved, and Jerry Markbright says holding.
Yeah, Jerry Markbright threw the flag from behind the play. Jerry Markbright threw the flag.
Holding, number 36, offense. 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
And that'll go on the rookie, Stanley Pritchett.
He was the lead blocker. Here's Pritchett coming in motion. Let's see what happens here. He's blocking on a linebacker. It's Cascadden. Does he have a hold of his shirt? Can't really pick it up there, but Jerry Markbright was to the left and behind the play and immediately threw the flag. So another 1st and 20 for the Dolphins. Yeah, he grabbed his shirt. Good call.
Dolphins backed up to the 44 now. And Marino's pass deflected at the line of scrimmage by Mike Chalensky, number 71. Another former Eagle on this Jets team.
Yeah, you see a lot more of that, don't you, in the NFL? Passes tipped at the line of scrimmage. The pass rushers just basically give up, get their hand up. It's a certain amount of luck, but it seems to be happening with a lot more frequency.
And the penalty yards beginning to pile up against the Dolphins. 62 yards already, and we still have 10 minutes left in the half. And Marino just gives that little bit of shake and bake to get an extra time. Fred Barnett gets almost up to the line of scrimmage before he's brought down by Coleman. And Barnett, another one of those Eagles who played for Richie Kotite from 90 to 94.
Shallow crossing pattern by Barnett, who, by all doctors' accounts, shouldn't even be out on the field. I mean, had an anterior cruciate ligament transplant twice on the same knee, and is back playing this season.
Tore it on July 25th, had surgery in August, and played in the 7th week of the season versus his old team, the Eagles. 3rd down and long for Marino. Pass not complete, intended for Randall Hill. Ray Mickens over there.
Jimmy Johnson keeping the offense on the field here. He went for it on 4th and 7. This ball gets out of round. You see Hill slips just a little bit when he comes back, but this ball loses its spiral and it kind of dies right down into the turf, and the Dolphins going for it again, Dan.
4th and 7 they tried. Now 4th and 13. Again looking for Hill, and incomplete. And the Jets take over again on downs. Lonnie Young on the coverage. So Jimmy Johnson's gone for it twice on 4th and long. Unsuccessful both times.
Teammates sponsored by the U.S. Army.
Gets the same picture of the big Polaroid. And the Jets obviously changing their coverage pattern because it's confusing Miami, and those 2 4th down attempts, neither one was even close to being a conversion.
6 possessions, no points for the Dolphins. Foley on 1st down. Out of the backfield complete. Richie Anderson. And Anderson has a 1st down. Back to Greg Gumbel across the river.
All right, thanks, Dan. At Carolina, Pittsburgh quarterback Mike Tomczak has only thrown for 25 yards so far today, but 6 of them here to Andre Hastings with the extra point. The Steelers pull close to Carolina. It's now 9-7, under 9 minutes to play in the first half, Dan.
Thank you, Greg. Under 9 to go here in the first half. Jets with a 14-0 lead. Thanks to a Hugh Douglas 62-yard fumble return for a touchdown, and a very questionable Adrian Morrell short 1-yard catch. Richie Anderson heads up the middle for another big chunk of yardage for the Jets. Zach Thomas, the leading tackler for Miami, with the stop on Anderson.
And he does a nice job here too, because you're going to see Zach Thomas blitz. Anderson makes just a little adjustment, gets right inside the block by the left guard on the fold. That's well done by Richie Anderson. The Jet offensive line not really pushing the Dolphin defensive line around, but they're just making those little creases in there.
Just short of the 1st down, Anderson. So on 2nd and 1, Foley going deep down the sidelines. Keyshawn Johnson giving Buckley a little shove.
Again, there was an awful lot of air underneath that ball by Foley.
Well, the one he threw in the flats a little earlier also floated out there just a bit. Dolphins have been having some cracks at some interceptions today, but as you take a look at some of the other scores around the league.
That's Ron Earhart in the background there. Of course, formerly offensive coordinator of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Got them to the Super Bowl. I tell you, a weak arm is exposed in a split second in the NFL.
3rd and short. Morrell should have the 1st down as the Jets keep the drive alive under 8 minutes left.
Well, the Dolphins are letting them have fun here today. You know, as long as the Jets don't turn the ball over. They've already had 1 turnover on the punt return, the fumble by Wayne Corbett, but you know, as long as the Jets don't turn the ball over, they can compete.
How many times, though, has Kotite and the Jets been in similar positions, seemingly on his way to a win, and then everything falls apart?
Yeah, too many. So many that you can't remember each one of them individually. You know that? They just all in kind of a blur.
Yep. Well, a timeout taken by the Jets, and Foley will head to the sidelines and talk things over with Earhart. Well, next weekend it is the playoffs, and you can join NBC Sports for an AFC wildcard game on Sunday. Got the pregame show, and then after the combatants are sorted out, check your local listings for the game and time in your area. That's the AFC wildcard game next Sunday, right here on NBC.
Yeah, those wild card games, I think they're the most pressure-packed game of the season. You know, more pressure than the Super Bowl, more pressure than the conference championship game, and in a lot of instances, you have the same 2 teams playing 2 weeks in a row. Wild card games are always entertaining.
Well, the playoff situation today, interesting. Jacksonville trying to get into the playoffs. You know, on the other side in the NFC, the Panthers in the playoffs for in just their 2nd year, and Jacksonville trying to equal that. They can get in. Jets at the Miami 42. Foley's going to run with it. Into a head-first slide close to the 35-yard line. Steve Entman on the tackle for Miami.
Well, I don't think Foley's ever going to be a threat to run the ball seriously. This is in total desperation. He gets some pressure from the outside. Takes a little while to get his feet up and going there, does Glenn Foley. He's going to be described throughout his career as one of those pocket passers, you know.
Second down and 7. Foley moves to Morrell. And Morrell hard charging close to the 32-yard line.
Well, all of the symptoms are there for the Dolphins on defense. Very poor tackling. A little late getting to the right spot. A lot of standing around. That is 3 things that Jimmy Johnson absolutely detests.
He sure has a plan, though. When you talk with him, you know, he's all positive.
Absolutely.
Dolphins out of the playoffs, but
Yep.
he's saying, well, here's what we're going to do. Here's what we've set ourselves up for. And you really get the feeling that the plan will be eventually implemented by Jimmy Johnson. Pass incomplete, intended for Anderson. And Johnson knows a little bit about rebuilding. 1-15 in his first year with the Cowboys, as that brings up 4th down for the Jets. And the fans, of course, want Richie to go for it.
Sure, that's an easy choice. Up 14-0. 1-14. No dilemma here. Yeah, we'll talk more about Jimmy Johnson and his plan, including being underneath cap, finding some extra money.
A little more than a yard the Jets need. The numbers on the season. And Morrell, I don't know if he got it or not. Sean Wooden knifed in there for Miami, and the Dolphin defense, of course, thinks they've stopped the Jets. They may have to measure this one. Or Jerry looked like he was going to signal first down for the Dolphins. Wait, no, we're going to bring him out.
That changed his mind.
You know, Rich Kotite, really, Trump, a sympathetic figure here in New York. There is not a person you talk to or meet with that knows Richie Kotite that has a bad word to say about him.
You're absolutely correct. And that is first down Miami. It is rather precedent setting that as the head coach and general manager of the New York Jets, in his statement, he neither quit nor was fired, but he is no longer the head coach of the Jets after today's game. I'm not sure what category this falls in, but he was fired.
But always polite Kotite at the press conference when he was going to announce he was stepping down. He said, "Thanks for coming on such short notice." Dolphins take over on down. Stanley Pritchett on the receiving end of the Marino pass. Marvin Jones on the tackle. But that really typifies the kind of guy that Kotite is.
And has been. And Danny, there is a delicate area where coaches succeed. I mean, you can't be an absolute George Patton, and then you can't be a Richie Kotite. You want to be somebody in between. But coaches who play or coach out of their personality never seem to succeed. And Richie's always been one of those guys who gets along with everybody, and that's the way he coached.
Marino hands off to Abdul-Jabbar. Short gain, which will bring up 3rd down. But Richie Kotite said he got together with Steve Gutman, the president of the Jets, and Leon Hess, the owner, and they came to a mutual decision that
And you know what distresses me? The only name I really hear as a replacement for Rich Kotite is Bill Parcells. I mean,
oh, that's the only.
If the Jets don't,
Jet fans want Parcells.
If the Jets don't hire Bill Parcells, whoever the guy comes in here has already got his foot in a mud hole. He's 2 steps behind.
Marino throwing on first down. Troy Drayton couldn't come up with it. Incomplete. Chad Cascadden on the coverage. Well, it was the only news in the New York area, obviously, on Friday. These are the Saturday morning respective tabloids in the New York area. The Post on the left and on the right, the Daily News. But take a look. Same exact headlines, Trump, and they were off only a few frames on the pictures. It's unbelievable.
Like half a stride. Hand out of the glove, hand in the glove. That was the big story.
the only coaching vacancy. It's just a matter of time. And Dan Reeves announces probably that he will not return as head coach for the Giants as Abdul-Jabbar takes the second down carry.
And actually, that's not the first time that's happened in New York, that both head coaches leave in the same year. When Parcells took over in '83, I think it was it Walt Michaels who took over the same year?
Well, coaches on the bubble in a carousel of changes which are expected at the end of the season. June Jones, Mike White, Wayne Fonts, Rich Brooks, Venturi, the interim coach for the Saints, Dan Reeves out for the Giants, and on our NBC pregame show today, Will McDonough not putting Dennis Green on that list as Marino finds Randall Hill. Will McDonough saying Dennis Green will be back as head coach of the Vikings. So he says forget about Lou Holtz taking over in Minnesota.
I'm sure Lou was very disappointed to hear Will report that. In '83, Joe Walton replaced Walt Michaels, so there were two coaching changes here in Giant Stadium. A little life here shown by the Miami offense in the latter stages of this first half.
Yeah, they're at the Jet 40 with another first down. 3.5 left in the opening half. Miami trailing 14-0, and again down the sideline, Marino was looking this time for Fred Barnett.
They've tried that several times today, and every single time the Jets have had at least one guy underneath, and there's also been help from the safety. So obviously the Jet coaching staff changed the pattern, the defensive pattern, ever so slightly. Those are not Dan Marino numbers. 10 of 22 for just 102 yards.
Again, Marino prolific in his career against the Jets. Career single game highs for pass attempts, passing yards, touchdown passes, as well as interceptions are all against the Jets, but having a difficult time here today. Now on the mark to O.J. McDuffie, short of the first down, as McDuffie, they'll mark him at the 31. Aaron Glenn covering McDuffie.
Glenn is one of those kids that's mad when he gives up any completion. And he loves covering Keyshawn Johnson in practice. He says, I cover him like a gnat.
Third down and a long one. 8th play of this drive for Miami. And off, fumbled by Pritchett.
He loses yardage, and Jimmy's going to take a timeout. And
4th down.
Yeah, consider another 4th down. Third, maybe the third attempt in his first half.
Well, that's kind of the way it's been all half long for the Dolphins. They went for it. This much shorter at 4th and 3. But with 2:29 left, Dolphins try to keep their hopes alive for a touchdown. And they won't get this one either. O.J. McDuffie wrapped up in a hurry by Victor Green. So 3 times they've gone for it, 3 times they've failed. And the Jets take over on downs. A flag comes in.
Very late.
Dolphins indicating that it's on the Jets, but we'll wait and hear from Mark Bright.
12 men on the field on the defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
There's your first down.
I think that's upset Jet fans more than anything else. In this season, that has happened a lot to the New York Jets. Too many men or not enough men.
What hasn't happened?
Yeah. That's unforgivable. They stop him on 4th down, 12 men on the field, and now we know why. McDuffie was the only receiver that Marino could even think about throwing the ball to. And Viccarello, the defensive coordinator, his defense has been victimized all season by things like that.
So Miami with a fresh set of downs at the Jet 29. Trailing 14. Another tough exchange between Marino and Abdul-Jabbar. And it again looked like Marino never really had a handle on it and just kind of shoveled it away to Abdul-Jabbar. Take another break. Back in a moment.
To hand the ball cleanly to Abdul-Jabbar.
Marino, a broken foot earlier in the season, missed almost 3 games. The Dolphins going 1-2 in those games in his absence. Second down and 9. And Troy Drayton with a first down close to the 10-yard line. Victor Green, but not before a 17-yard gain by Drayton. That was thrown in there nicely by Mr. Marino.
Yeah, great zip on this one. Marino has always had that unbelievable delivery. Nice inside move or look by Drayton. Green buys it, and then, man, that baby is perfect right between the 8 and the 4. Watch this zip. Yeah, you catch that in self-defense.
Jimmy Johnson doesn't like Troy Drayton. That was a good reason why. Throw him behind him, catches it on his shoulder. Abdul-Jabbar fighting for yards down to the 7-yard line. Tell you what a contrast in talking with both coaches. You talk with Rich Kotite, who obviously is on his way out, but there is a man with a plan in Miami, even though there's been some disgruntled Dolphin fans about well, not making the playoffs this year. But that pass incomplete to Fred Barnett, and Marcus Coleman called for interference.
Pass interference, number 42, defense, in the end zone. Automatic first down on the 1-yard line.
Coleman does not turn around. Barnett breaks to the outside. When Coleman turns his head, there's the contact before he turns his head around, and it gets in the way of Barnett of getting to the football. And with the new rules about pass interference, the officials are going to flag that every time.
So the 12th play of this drive. First and goal from the 1 for the Dolphins. No indication. They stopped him. Clock continues to roll, approaching 40 seconds left. And stops with 38 seconds as they unpile him.
Marino wants him back in the huddle as quickly as possible here.
Well, Miami with some pretty good sustained drives, Trump, but that was the situation against Buffalo last week. They ran 30 more plays than Buffalo last week, but had just 1 touchdown. Abdul-Jabbar tries again and is stopped. Marvin Jones leading the Jet surge.
Well, this is one of the things that Jimmy Johnson is insisting upon with this offense. He wants his offensive linemen aggressive. He wants them to be able to blow people out. And you see the Jets do a great job there of standing up the Miami Dolphins offensive line and allowing Abdul-Jabbar no place to run. I mean, absolutely nowhere.
So that'll bring up 3rd and goal from the 1, and we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll be sending you across the Hudson for the Domino's Pizza NFL on NBC halftime report. Greg Gumbel and company will get you caught up on all the action from this final week of the regular season in the NFL. An updated look at all the playoff races, all the scores and highlights coming up at halftime. And this would be a huge play in favor of the Jets if they can somehow prevent Miami from getting in the end zone here with a 1st and goal at the 1. They've stopped them twice in a row as Miami gets ready for the 14th play of this drive.
And of course, Miami has no timeouts left, so that eliminates the run. They're going to have to throw the ball here. You would think if they'd gone for it on 4th down 3 times in this first half, they wouldn't mind going for it on a 4th. But to the sideline, this must be a pass.
Goal from the 1.
5 wide receivers in the game, Dan. 5 wide receivers.
And that was Thomas, who never looked around. Lamar Thomas had his back to Marino when it left Marino's hand, and here we go again. 4th down and goal from the 1, and the Dolphins obviously going for it.
Yeah, again, now another new receiver generally for the Dolphins, put in a spot where he's got to really do something, and 4 times now in the first half on 4th down the Dolphins going for it.
Well, if the Jets can stop him here, what a way to go into the locker room. And they did it. Chad Cascadden in the face of Marino. But 2 flags are in the end zone, and Kotite has just seen them and can't believe it.
Holding number 24, defense. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Now the Dolphins have gone for it on 4th down 4 times. They've missed 2 and had 2 penalties on the Jets. And the Dolphins get another chance with 9 seconds left. Now the Jets can't get the right people on the field here. They have to take a timeout.
And the clock stopped with 9 seconds to go as they inch the ball even closer to the goal line. Kotite thought his team had held Miami 4 straight, but the holding call gives Miami another chance.
I think this is where the call is made on the holding. It's Mickens, 24. He's got a hold of Randall Hill, and he just grabs his jersey, and that's where the holding call is. I don't think there's any. It's not holding here. I think it happens out here. You can't really see it, but anyway, why not take a chance? I mean, 1 and 14. Let's see if I can grab a hold of a jersey. They got to catch me before it's illegal. But he got caught. Jets do make it interesting.
So the ball is at the half-yard line. 1st down. Irving Spikes is the lone setback for Miami in this marathon drive. And they get the touchdown finally. It's O.J. McDuffie.
Well, you give Dan Marino enough opportunities,
sooner or later
he's going to get you.
But it took him 5 plays. McDuffie scores his 8th touchdown of the season.
McDuffie goes in motion, and again that great release. Aaron Glenn just can't quite catch up with McDuffie for the score.
And the left-footed Joe Nedney pumps it through. And with 6 seconds left in the half, Miami is finally on the board, and they pull within 7, but still trail at 14-7.
Here's the matchup, McDuffie and Glenn. It doesn't take much room for Dan Marino to get it in there. Even though there's decent pressure by the Jets, and Aaron Glenn is near. Well, that's about as hard as I've seen any team work to score a touchdown. There were 2 4th down penalties on the Jets that extended the drive. There was a pass interference penalty that put the ball at the 1-yard line on the Jets. And the Jets have been very cooperative to their opponents this season.
15 plays, 68 yards. And 5 minutes and 52 seconds, nearly a 6-minute drive, finally results in the touchdown for Miami. So Nedney set to kick off. And a line drive up the field taken by Aaron Glenn. Glenn dances around for a moment. And that will do it. Opening half in the Meadowlands in the book. And the beleaguered Jets take a 14-7 lead into the locker room over Miami. Now, let's head across the river and the Domino's Pizza NFL and NBC report. The Jets